That's got to be like in the top 4 so far, right?
I mean, bro, I'm surprised that wasn't number 1.
Well, see, that's the crazy thing about, like these bogus sponsors that I came up with all of last year, and now I'm recreating them as an actual fucking fake commercial. That, when this new format or this new kind of way of explaining them, some are even like, some are better than others, some just are trash. They're not going to be home runs. I'm going to say that right now.
Yeah, right. But I mean, the ones like all the ones in the top 5 are just solid. So I'm surprised, especially how the order ended up coming out.
Yeah,
it's so good.
Yeah,
so good, Foo. Well, sports, Foo. Sports. You know what's happening in sports, Foo? Fucking nothing, thanks to the goddamn MLB, Foo.
Oh, jeez.
Where's the sports?
I know. Owners, MLB owners, answer me this. Where is the sports? Where is the baseball?
Sports?
Where is it? Where is it?
So what's happening, man?
Well, right now, Foo, the MLB owners have locked out all of the players. So there's no spring training. They've already had to start canceling spring training games, and it's actually looking like we may eventually cancel regular season games. Opening day is March 31st. Mm-hmm. So usually spring training has already started like a week ago, with at least the pitchers and the catchers report.
Yeah.
And then this week is usually when, the last week of February is usually when the rest of the players start joining and they start ramping up. And then games usually start the following week after. Right now, it's not looking like there's going to be any type of agreement, because the sticking point is that the players, pretty much what they want is they want like an inflation raise.
Mm-hmm.
So they want a raise based off of current inflation rates and how everything is working. The MLB owners state that because of the pandemic last year, and because or the pandemic that's been happening in the last few years, and then not having fans, that they've lost a lot of money, and that they can't afford such a raise. Well, it's that has not been going over very well with the players. One player, in fact, Walker Buehler, who he pretty much came out and said, "Look, if your boss did not want to give you a raise, and yet everything else, all the prices around you are going up, like, wouldn't you want an inflation raise?" It's the same thing. He's like, it's not owners versus players. He's like, it's millionaires versus billionaires.
Yeah.
It's like, and it's, what's crazy is that a lot of fans, there's a lot of fans that are coming into the defense of the owners, saying that the players, millionaires, need to just suck it up and just play. But it's like, bro, the players will play. The owners are locking them out.
Yeah.
It's not the players' fault. So as of right now, it looks like that they still haven't met. A lot of them were hoping that to at least have conversations by this upcoming Monday when we release today. Nope, there's not going to be any conversations. In fact, there may not be anything until maybe next week. And in all honesty, I possibly don't see any games or spring training starting for at least another 2 or 3 weeks. So expect to lose at least 2 or 3 weeks of games. And an interesting fact here is that if we do lose games, the owners do not have to pay the players.
Oh,
so
interesting.
The players will start to lose money off of their salary, and the owners don't have to pay them back.
Oh,
because essentially it's a work stoppage.
So it's pretty one-sided then.
Right now, it's pretty one-sided, and a lot of it, pretty much the sticking point's coming down to the money aspect, and then I believe there is some issue with DH, universal DH.
What's the issue? They don't want it in the National League?
I think it's the. Actually, you know what? Scratch that. I believe that they were okay with the internet, with the national DH, but they weren't okay with not getting a percentage of the TV rights, and then a percentage, a higher pay scale. So like they only wanted like a 2 or 3% raise or something, and the owners were like, "No, we'll give you like 1. We'll give you like a 1% raise."
All right.
And And so that's one of the sticking points. Is like, bro, like we're asking you for like a small percentage raise, and the owners are like, no, we don't want to give you any raise. Like, there's no salary cap. Like, why do we need to give you any type of raise in scale? But the issue isn't in the top level. Once again, it's in the bottom level. It's in the minor leaguers who do not get paid. I actually have a family member whose fiance used to play in the Cubs organization. Because of this lockout, he ended up just having to go to get a sales job for this other company. And he's a great prospect. Like, they were actually trying to pull him up. The Cubs were just, like, saying, no, man, like, we don't want you to go. Like, will you stay? And he's just like, nah, man, if you're not going to bring me up to the majors at all, then, why bother?
Gotta bounce.
Yeah, gotta bounce. And so I think we're going to start seeing a lot of minor leaguers start doing that, especially because the money's just not there. And the owners waste their talents, a lot of them, by just letting them sit, So that's another sticking point. So it doesn't look like it's going to get any prettier. It doesn't look like it's going to have any end.
That minor league thing, it reminds me of like a band getting signed by a label and then just getting shelved.
That's funny you say that, because that's exactly what happens in that Genius series. Kanye gets signed by Rockefeller, and then he's pretty much shelved. He's shelved by Rockefeller for like 3 years because they only see him as a producer. They didn't think he was a good rapper, or he didn't fit their image of a rapper.
Right.
So it's the same thing. It's like they have these preconceived notions, or they don't really put their their prospects to full use. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. I'll give more information as we go, but as of right now, baseball is in jeopardy. Though, I mean, let's be honest, guys. We usually don't start paying attention to baseball until like May or June.
Yeah, bro. Summertime.
Yeah, until like the All-Star break. Yeah. We're like, oh fuck, it's baseball All-Star break now. All right,
that was
let's
fast.
Go Dodgers.
Yeah.
It's already here.
Let's get some hot dogs.
Yeah. Well, we may want to pay attention as Lakers fans a little sooner, because I think the Lakers season will end up finishing a lot quicker than we would like. Foo.
We've gotten spoiled with going far into the playoff season. I don't think that's going to happen.
No sir, no sirree, Bob. And going with that, recently the Lakers made a lot of news. We talked about it last week, how LeBron wanted to finish his career and play with Bronny, his son, when he turns 18. So a lot, there have been a lot of speculation of the last week. Like, should the Lakers trade LeBron this offseason? Should they trade Anthony Davis too and just start from scratch? The Lakers don't have a first-round draft pick until 2027. And we don't have a second-round draft pick, I think, until not even this upcoming draft, but the next draft. We're like not going to be playing anything in the draft. So the only trade chips we have this offseason are, in fact, Anthony Davis, Russell Westbrook, LeBron James, and then like picks 7-8 years into the future that we have no idea what will even become of that. So there was like a lot of speculation, especially because LeBron was pissed that the Lakers didn't do anything at the trade deadline to get better. So everyone's just like, oh, LeBron's gonna leave, he's gonna leave. Like, no, he's not all about LA, this and that. I've been listening to a lot of sports radio this week, and ESPN LA especially, Lakers fans have been calling him. He's like, he's no Kobe, man. Kobe wouldn't have done that. Wrong, people. I'm a diehard Kobe fan, and I know for a fact Kobe did in fact do shit like that. Like, he threatened to go to the Clippers, dude. Kobe legit threatened to go to the Clippers, and Jerry Buss had to talk his ass back in. Like, no, come back.
There were rumblings throughout his career, at least for like a short period of time. I remember of him threatening to go to the Clippers.
Right when the whole Shaq thing was going down. That's when, and then a little after that, right before they traded for Powell, because free agency was coming up. That's when he's just like, I mean, we got that other team here in LA. Why do I gotta leave? We'll see. So ever since after that, like radio, because he came on like a radio show and did that.
Yeah.
Jerry Buss is like, come inside my office, bro. We're signing this deal right now. No. Lifetime Lakers.
What do you think the world would be like if he went to the Clippers way back when?
Oh, dude, my world would just be destroyed if he actually did.
Can you imagine if this was a Clipper town primarily?
First off, Foo.
I'm just saying, like, it's a bizarro world. I'm not saying like it's ever gonna happen, but like, let's just say, in another universe.
Butterfly effect, Foo. Butterfly effect. One thing can change fucking a lot. So yeah,
who knows?
That would be. I cringe. Foo.
I don't want to even think about it.
I don't want to think about that either. That's like when freaking Marty McFly goes back to the past and Biff Tannen is his freaking dad or stepdad. Like, what the hell what did I do?
Yeah.
Like, what did I step on?
Exactly.
Yeah, man. So, but after all this news, Rich Paul, LeBron's agent, came out today and said, look, we are committed to the Lakers 100%. We don't want to leave. We're not going to get traded. We're here to make sure that they're a contender for years to come. So I think like any LeBron news, you always got to take some things with a grain of salt if they're not coming directly from his camp. Because, dude, the dude really likes to play the media. Like, he'll say these little things here and there, and then just let the media fucking run with it. Because it's LeBron, dude. Like, this guy sneezes and everyone stops.
Yeah, everybody's like really takes him too seriously sometimes.
Yeah, and he likes that. You can see that he does like that. He gets off on this shit, bro. Yeah, Foo. So Lakers are not going to be making the playoffs this year. I'm calling it right now. I'm a diehard fan, but nothing.
It's not really a hot take, dude. Relax.
Nothing I'm seeing, dude. Nothing I'm seeing from any of these games is telling me that we have a chance this year. So let's just rest it up. Try it again tomorrow. Right. Or try it again next year. Okay, Foo. So last thing I want to bring up in sports. Foo, did you happen to know that there is a announcer free agency?
What? No, I had no idea. Really?
Foo.
Like an announcer, like a Joe Buck?
Like a Joe Buck, Foo, or a Troy Aikman in this case. Troy Aikman is actually set to join Monday Night Football on ESPN all of next year. So he will be the lead NFL football analyst for Monday Night Football.
All right.
Yeah. So he's going to be leaving Fox. He's going to be leaving Joe Buck. Joe Buck still has one more year remaining on his contract. So he's not really a free agent yet until after next year. So, but you know who else happens to be a free agent, Foo?
Who's that?
Al Michaels, Foo.
Oh.
Do you believe in miracles, Foo?
Damn. You forget about Al sometimes. But
you do.
He's up there, though.
He's one of the greats. And there has been speculation that because he's leaving Sunday Night Football, he can either go to Amazon or Foo.
Yeah.
How about this?
What?
We bring him back to Monday night to be the second analyst with Troy Aikman, Foo.
Oh,
I mean, come on.
I wouldn't hate that.
Al Michaels with Troy Aikman.
Yeah.
I mean, anything besides Joe Buck is actually A+.
Are you in that camp against Joe Buck?
Oh, God damn it, dude! Every fucking World Series. Bro.
There's three kinds of people in this world. Team. There's the guy who enjoys the shit out of Joe Buck. There's the guy who nickelbacks Joe Buck, who hates him because everybody else hates him. Kind of like the Nickelback effect. And then there's a guy, I guess, which I presume is you, the guy who just vehemently just hates the motherfucker.
He's such a dick. He's such a dick, dude. He always talks in a condescending ass fucking voice. Yeah. Like
that's his cadence, though. That's just how he talks.
But bro, even when things are exciting, it's not even exciting. Oh God. Yeah. I mean, bro.
I hear you. I understand. It's a cartoon hatred that I enjoy observing.
I'm just besides myself whenever I see Joe Buck. It's like, he should not be on there, Foo. Look what you did, Foo. You made me flustered. Fucking Joe Buck.
We were talking about Will Arnett earlier, and I listened to his podcast that he does with with a couple of his buddies. Fucking what's his name? Fucking Ozark. Why am I escaping the fucking name? Jason Bateman and Sean Hayes. And it's called Smartless. And they had Joe Buck on once. And Joe told a story of how he lost he lost a vocal cord at some point because he was getting a hair transplant. And in the anesthesia with the tube down his throat, I guess, damaged one of his vocal cords. And fucking he couldn't talk for like a few months, like 9 months, he said. So, and like his voice is his job, it's his livelihood. And right. So he's just like, and he's like, I've honestly never been really the same since then. Like, it's not the same voice that I remember having as a younger person. But yeah, fucking watch your anesthesiologist, man. When you get your hair transplant
shoved down your throat. Like, goddamn.
Yeah, well,
I mean, hi-yo.
Yeah, but anyway, I just wanted to share that.
Well, thank you. Well, that explains his douchey voice. I mean. Oh, I'm so sorry for you, Joe Buck. I'm so sorry.
Right.
So sorry for you and your douchey voice. God damn it. All right, fool. That's it for sports. Joe Buck pissed me off.
Well, I got a joint report today, so we'll do that.
Go, Joe Buck.
Cunt.
Are you on weed? Give me some. I'll smoke you two under the table.
Well, since we just came off of sports, Josh, this one's a little tangentially related to sports as we learned that the NCAA moves to lower marijuana penalties for student athletes and increase the THC threshold. So students and athletes that are part of the NCAA will no longer automatically lose their eligibility to play the following a positive marijuana test under rules that are being recommended by a key committee. You're never going to remember or care who this committee is, so I'll skip that. But let's see. Effective immediately, the THC threshold that constitutes a positive test is being increased from 35 to 150 nanograms per milliliter, aligning the organization's policy with that of the World Anti-Doping Agency. Members have spent the last few months discussing potential changes to the NCAA cannabis rules, and the decision to recommend greater leniency is consistent with the conversations that have been ongoing in multiple professional sports leagues as more states move to enact legislation for legalization. So I think this is pretty cool, man, considering the talents that they've kind of pushed out or have banned because, they continue to test positive or have tested positive once at one point. Let's see, I got a couple quotes here. Reconsidering the NCAA approach to cannabis testing and management is consistent with feedback from membership on how to better support and educate student athletes in a society with rapidly evolving public health and cultural views regarding cannabis use. That was Brian Hainline, the chief medical officer of the NCAA. Marijuana is not considered a performance-enhancing substance, but it remains important for member schools to engage student athletes regarding substance use prevention and provide management and support when appropriate. So they are going to do what they can, but they're going to look the other way with weed. So
I mean, bro, it's the right thing to do. I mean, consider what happened last year. Remember with that one track star, Sha'Carri Richardson?
Yeah.
It's like if this had been enacted back then, it wouldn't even be in discussion. Like it's ridiculous. Like you had a little 15-year-old girl in Russia ice skating in the Olympics, and she was caught for doping.
Right.
And so it's just like, come on, bro.
A little weed should not be a big deal.
Not at all.
Yeah.
None whatsoever.
Yeah. Well, that was that one, and then again, this is going to be a short joint report. But the only other one I had for today was young people who use marijuana have better orgasms and sexual function. A study says sexual function in young people who use cannabis and alcohol more frequently was shown to be better than those who don't use either. So the study that they ran, it was from January to June of 2020. Researchers assessed 185 females and 89 males between the ages of 18 and 30 who were either regular cannabis or alcohol users or non-users, excluding those who used other substances, and they screened out those with pre-existing condition like depression and diabetes. So at least there could be, a nice control level of people who all relatively have the same kind of health and lifestyle, except for those who don't. And so they're comparing the two, and sexual function, you'll learn, Josh, is improved in young people who are high-risk cannabis consumers with a moderate risk of alcohol use, resulting in an increased desire, arousal, and orgasm.
Fu, I can attest to these findings, scientifically speaking.
Is that right?
Several years ago, with one of my ex-girlfriends, I won't name names, Fu, when I was in better shape,
I know this girl
less. Drinking
that was
less.
a small window in your life.
What a dick.
Yeah, whatever.
I was drinking a lot less and smoking a lot, and whoo, boy howdy, Fu, those were some prime years right there. I'll tell you what. Boy, I'll tell you what. Prime years indeed.
Our findings indicate that young people who use cannabis frequently, regardless of gender, have better overall sexual function. So they not only have a strong libido, but the stuff works, a lot better and more frequently and more, I guess, efficiently than somebody who doesn't. And I think it also has something to do with the, like they call alcohol the social lubricant, because you get a little bit more comfortable a little quicker with people when you're on that kind of stuff. And the social aspect of it too, either going to a bar and drinking or, smoking in a circle of friends with maybe passing a joint or a bowl around, you're going to be more social, I think, and you're going to be more open to that kind of personality that would get you there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Get friskier, in other words. That type of personality also who would be drawn to those kinds of situations or behaviors would also probably be better in the sack. Indeed. So here, I'll go ahead and... Yeah, man.
Let's get freaky.
It makes sense,
some dabs. Right? Yeah, Fu. Yeah. I'm all for people getting freaky and dabbing it up, man. I mean, spread the love, dogs.
Yeah, man. And that's all I had for the joint report today. So let's end this thing with the music highlights, shall we?
Smoke weed every day.
Well, before we started recording, Josh, I told you that I had, I got everything ready for the music highlights, and then before we started going on Zoom here to record the podcast, I'm like, all these songs are freaking bangers, dude. Like even the one where you're just like, really? Yeah, it's a good fucking song. So we'll start with this, our normal carousel of songs this week. Josh, we'll start with yours. You had Rock.
Yes, sir.
What did you choose?
I chose this song by this band called Planet Zero.
Shinedown.
Shinedown. I'm sorry. And the song is called Planet Zero, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Had it mixed around. Sorry. Yes. Shinedown, Planet Zero. Just the name itself, Planet Zero, kind of popped out of me because of Godzilla. But dude, just play it, man. This song is a banger, dude.
Cool. All right. Shinedown, Planet Zero. Dude, I think also Seth MacFarlane is a huge fan of this song because I think he included it in a very funny part in a Family Guy movie and in Ted, right?
Yeah, it's in Ted.
You put it in Ted too, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Ray Charles is just a fucking gem.
He's a legend, man.
Just legend. And
have you ever seen Ray, the movie?
Oh yeah, dude. I watched it a lot.
A good one.
I watched it in theaters, and my dad, we bought all like the old albums when they started re-releasing them on like iTunes and stuff. Mm-hmm. So I'm a huge Ray Charles fan. So fucking thank you, Foo. Thank you for bringing some class to this podcast, Foo.
Of course. It's what I do.
Fucking finally.
Week to week. What the fuck? All right, man. Well, that's, I got to do the old record scratch. Well, that's going to do it, man. And, I wanted to bring something up. I know we started the show with a little bit of a somber mood with, the impending possible World War III or Cold War. We'll see how that goes. But I found this on, I guess it's mainly on Twitter. People are sharing this on Twitter. And I don't know how true this is, but if you're in Russia right now trying to access Pornhub, Russian users who tried to go on Pornhub were presented with a message saying that the content is blocked along with a Ukrainian flag and a message of support to Ukraine. So fucking, it's gotta fucking suck if you're in Russia right now and have nothing to do with whatever the government's bullshit is all going on. I'm just saying.
I mean, he's putting them through it, Foo.
Oh, you got another one. You did it again. You can't stop him, everybody. You can't stop him.
Full circle, dogs.
Christ.
Full circle.
All right, man. Well, that's going to do it for today. And thank you all very much for listening into the Foobar Show. Remember to hit subscribe and be sure to rate, review, and tell a friend like a champ. Before I forget, Josh, next week we're going to have Tanner Poppet. Remember him?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I put him on the calendar, man. So next episode, we'll have Tanner Poppet. He's going to come on. Well, we'll record it on Sunday. So I don't know. Bring your barbecue spoon. Did you bring a spoon to a barbecue? All right.
I will now.
You can also listen in and get our swag at foobarshow.com. That's FOOBarshow.com. And follow FOO Bar Show on, well, I got to say, I just said Tanner Poppet. If people don't know who this guy is. He was on the show a long time ago. Probably season 1, right? See, like it was way back when we were in the West Covina house, and he's in this band called Madrost, and they're like this heavy metal kind of like hardcore, really tight band too. And they've been around, and he's re-releasing and reissuing his music in vinyls. So he's gonna come and talk about that. Yeah, he gave me some too, so you can come check him out.
All right.
Where the fuck was I? And follow FOO Bar Show on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Instagram. Oh, yeah, I got to play the fucking thing now. You see, this is what happens when I go on a tangent. Join in, drop us a line, and we'll fill it up like a couple of foos. I've been Josie.
I've been Josh.
And we're signing off saying, don't